Well, hello again. Welcome to Chess-Based Workshop. My name is Steve Lopez. Thank you for clicking that link and joining us for this presentation. Brand new Fritz13. Here it is up in the corner. Notice the icon up here, the logo in the clock pane. Fritz13. Everybody's talking about the new online features of Fritz13. What's it all about? It's called Let's Check. And I'll give you a little background on what this is, but I will tell you that to use the Let's Check features, the first thing you want to do, if you've not done it, is set up a Play Chess account. Now, when you start Fritz, you get that splash screen that asks you if you want to go to Fritz, play Fritz, or there's some other options there. One of them is for Play Chess. Go to that link and set yourself up with a Play Chess account. All you need is a username and a password. It's very simple. And once you've done that, you can use the Let's Check features of Fritz. What I'm looking at right here on this screen is I've got a position in the Smith-Morra Gambit between Lonoff and Peltz from Chicago Open in '92. This is actually considered to be one of the seminal games in the Smith-Morra, very significant game. And I'm looking at a position after Black has made his 16th move, and I'm just kind of curious as to what the proper procedure would be here. Was swapping off on the on B5 the way to go, or were there other options here that maybe somebody missed? I mean, the first thing a lot of players would do would be go ahead and trade the pawn, but I was just curious, maybe there's something in this position that I'm not seeing, because I'm not a titled player. I miss things, so I'd like to have a look at this. Well, I could go ahead and fire up Fritz13 and have a look, let Fritz analyze it, but what if someone's already done it? What if somebody already looked at this position with some chess engine? I would never even know it unless there was some central repository, a central server where people could take analysis they've done with chess engines and fire them up onto the server. A place where you could also, if you wanted to, write verbal comments on positions and put them up there as well, your own impressions, your own ideas, as well as an engine's idea. What if there was one place you could go to see if people have already analyzed a position you're interested in? It would save you a ton of time if you could do that. Well, that's what Let's Check is. You go to Let's Check to see if a position has already been analyzed. If it hasn't, you can go ahead and analyze it. It's called Discovering a Position, and your Play Chess username will always be connected to that position. No matter how many people analyze it in the future, your Play Chess username will always appear there. There's also a leaderboard, a ranking board for ways you can score points using Let's Check. And there's a leaderboard for the leaders that have X number of points. And every time you discover a position, every time you do a significant analysis, you score points. So it's kind of a cool thing, and we're going to look at it right now and show you how to do it. We're going to look in this video. There's a lot of features to Let's Check. A lot of things you can do with it. We're going to look at a basic core concept, a very simple thing, discovering a position, which basically means that you're going to analyze a position that no one has yet analyzed on the server, and you're going to analyze it and upload your analysis to the server. It's easy to do, and it's helpful to other people. Let's show you how it works. Here's the position, as I said before. There's a couple of different things, a couple of different ways to get into Let's Check, but the first thing we want to do is load a chess engine. Now, to do this, there's a couple different ways to go. There's a button for it. The shortcut that's been the shortcut forever in Fritz is the F3 key on the keyboard. You have those F keys across the top. If you hit F3, you get this, and it is your load engine dialog. It's changed a little bit, by the way, since Fritz 12. There are additional steps to click to set the hash table size. For example, you'll click the advanced button. I've already done this, so I'm just demonstrating it here. Once you have loaded the engine that you want, you just click OK, and it goes back to your main screen. There's two ways to get into Let's Check. There's two ways to submit this position, to put it up, to analyze, put it up there. Check to see if it's already been analyzed. If not, to analyze it. myself and put that analysis in. There's two ways to go here. One of them is the Let's Check button. If you go to the engine menu up here at the top, if you mouse over the Let's Check button, it turns orange and you see the mouse over pops up here. This is a still, by the way. It says show the Let's Check windows. F8 is the shortcut, by the way. There is a shortcut key for this now. Click Let's Check. The other way to do it, besides hitting F8, is you'll notice down here in your engine analysis pane, where when you're running an engine it shows you the analysis in this window. Notice to the far right there is a button now that looks like a blue arrow right here. If you click that button, that also will get you into Let's Check. So you can click the blue arrow button or go to the engine menu, click the Let's Check button, or just hit F8 on your keyboard and it will get you into Let's Check. So let's have a look and see what happens after we click the button, and we'll talk a little bit about how this works. So let's have a look at exactly how this works. Once you click the button and launch the PlayChess server, the Let's Check server, and see what happens as you analyze a position. We've clicked it, and now we see what's going on. Our engine springs to life, and over here we have a Let's Check window that shows what's going on with our analysis being fed to the server. We can resize the window, by the way. We can make it taller and shorter. There's also a border between the two halves of the engine pane where we can make it wider and narrower so you can get a better look at what the engine's doing or get a better look at what's happening with the Let's Check server. Notice in that lower right-hand pane, it's constantly updated. That's our analysis. It's going to the server, being constantly updated. Notice there's also a status bar down there at the bottom. And what that status bar indicates is how long until the next event occurs. Excuse me, the first stage of the process is how long it'll be until our analysis is considered deep enough, that search is considered deep enough to qualify to be saved on the server. So that's what we're looking at right now. As soon as I get done playing around with the border here and settle on a size that I want. As soon as it gets more and more green as it goes, and then finally when that status bar completes, you'll see that the analysis changes color up at the top. You'll see a change in the coloration that shows that we've achieved that step. But what's happening? Fritz13 is analyzing, and that analysis is being constantly updated and constantly fed to the server. Another second or two here and we'll see everything change, and then there'll be a second step to the process. There we go. You'll notice that the notation has turned green at the top, and we now have another status bar going. That's the amount of time until we've discovered the position. And that takes a while. That takes probably about 10-11 minutes or so on my machine. So we're going to jump ahead here and show you what it looks like when it's done. Jumping ahead, we're about 10 minutes into the analysis now, and you'll notice that the status bar down at the bottom has turned green, and there is a time. About 2 minutes is showing in it right now, meaning we've got about 2 minutes until we get to the point where I've actually discovered this position. Notice, by the way, that I am the only person who has analyzed this position, so that gives me the opportunity to discover it. So anytime you go to look at a position on this server, you'll notice that if no one has analyzed it yet, that's an opportunity for you to discover it by analyzing it and having your name always attached to that position. As you'll see here in a moment, as soon as this analysis is finished, you'll see that my name will be permanently attached, or my username anyway, will be permanently attached to this position. So once again, if you're going to analyze a position and you see that no one has done it yet, that is an opportunity for you to earn some points on the standings by being the discoverer of the position, as well as having your name attached to it, which ought to be popping in about any second now. You'll see it occur. And there we go. I am now the discoverer of this position, as you see in the notation right above the status bar. Now I can let this engine continue to analyze if I want to. I can let it go on as long as I want and get a deeper and deeper analysis and have it constantly uploaded to the server. We're going to look at another still here just so I can point out a few things that go on with Let's Check. I want to call your attention down here to the Let's Check window down here where we have basically a variation 3 moves long showing what the engine would do in this particular position. And as I suspected, swapping on the B file might not be the way to go, at least not in the opinion of Fritz13. But when this is done, you don't have to click anything to upload your analysis. This is done automatically. It's just placed on the server. As you saw in the previous couple of clips, there's just a running analysis that's done. In fact, I could let this continue to run if I really wanted to. But we want it with a 3-move variation, the positional analysis that black is ahead by 3/4 of a pawn, which means that black did not get full value for the pawn. Black is ahead by a pawn materially, but white does have some level of compensation, perhaps not full compensation, but some. That's the idea of a gambit. The depth that Fritz reached is here, and as we've seen, the color of the depth value changes. Basically, once you've discovered a position, it turns blue. We see that Fritz13 was the engine that was used. My username is here. The date is here. Discovered by Armistead. That's me, and that will be here forever. As long as this server is running, this discovery will be attributed to me. Notice down here at the bottom also, main. It's just going to show you the main move in this position. There is a book feature called the live book that is being updated with people's analysis. The core of the live book are games, master and grandmaster games, but the book is being revised and updated by engine analysis, which is kind of cool. So in this particular position in the live book, 17F4 is the move that is being shown in the book. And with this evaluation, black being ahead by about 3/4 of a pawn, and that it was a 20-ply search depth that reached this evaluation. So that's what you see on the Play Chess server. Once you're done, and of course this was a video, the clock would still be running and the analysis would continue to be updated. But you see here, this is my engine, my name, and I've discovered this position now, so my name will always be attached to this position. Now, you get points. I talked about getting points for doing analysis for various Let's Check features, one of which is discovering positions. Well, how do you find out where you stand in the rankings? Well, it's going to take some doing to get there. There have been people that have been running this thing about 24/7 for about the last month since this came out. But we're going to have a look to show you now, to show you how to get to that list, to show you that list of names. So what you do is you come up here and you click on List of Honor, and you get a couple of other sub commands that you can go to, one of which is the Let's Check ranking, and we'll look at that. When you click on that, you get this, and this is a scrolling list that shows the top 50 people who have contributed to the Play Chess server and the number of points that they have accumulated. And it does take some doing to get on this list. This fellow up here at the top, Mealy, has been running his computer basically non-stop for the last month to get that number of points. However, if Mealy decides he gets tired of it, wants to do something else with his computer, you can catch him if you want to, but you got to top 3,000 points. There's a list of people here, and if you click on a name and you click on Show User Information, it will give you that person's real name, where they live, I mean not the street, but what town, what country they're from, and some additional user information, whatever they've decided to connect to their Play Chess user profile. That's what you'll see. That's it. That's how you discover a position. And by discovering position, not only do you get your name attached to it, as you see here, but you're helping other people. The next time somebody's looking at this position and wants to look at some analysis, before they analyze it, they can click on Let's Check and see what my engine has come up with. As I said also, there is a book feature to this. We'll back up where you can plainly see it. There is a tab here that says Live Book. And if you click on that, it will show the state of this position in the opening book, the live book opening book. And this analysis has been contributed to the live book opening book. And live book is constantly being updated. Once again, as people discover positions, as people add their own analysis. And by the way, because this position's already been discovered, that does not mean you can't get your name attached to it. My name will be attached permanently, but this analysis may be superseded by people. If other people come in later, say 3 people come in behind me and analyze this position to a greater depth than 20 plies, it'll scroll my analysis right off. It'll be gone, and the other people's analysis will be here, but my name will always be down here. So just because you look at a position that's already been analyzed doesn't mean you can't analyze it. You certainly can, and have your analysis put up on a list. This will show up analysis of up to 3 users. I'll show you some more Let's Check features in upcoming videos. Until then, for Chess Based Workshop, I'm Steve Lopez, reminding you to please do have fun.